Hey everybody, super quick plug. Go to drewmorgancomedy.com to see Drew on the road. Go to TreCrowder.com to see Trae on the road. As for me, I'm not on the road right now, so go to parttimefunnyman.com to get all my bonus stuff, essays, podcasts, all that, you know. And also, please, if you have not pre-ordered me and Trae's new book, Round Here and Over Yonder, please do so by either going to TreCrowder.com, CoreyRyanForrester.com, or it'll be in the description below for this podcast. No more screwing around. This is our first ever episode in the All Things Comedy studio. Since we're a part of their network now, we were finally able to get in there. So please, if you're on YouTube, enjoy this in super crystal clear video. Love y'all. See you later. Enjoy the podcast.
Oh, wait. Because the bag's gonna crinkle.
Oh, fuck.
See, it hurt his ears.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What'd you do?
Give me 2 seconds. I spilled whiskey all over my dick.
Okay.
Hey, he's got literal whiskey dick.
Yeah.
I hope we're already recording. Let's just start now. Here we are.
Are we?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, all right. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Corey's got whiskey on his dick. Me and Drew are in some exciting new surroundings here. We're here at the All Things Comedy studio. We told you all a while back we're going to be coming over here, but this is the first time it's actually worked out. We're physically in the place, and I tell you what, I'm beside myself with how nice everything is and how sweet the setup is.
You're literally beside yourself.
Yes, I am. See, we could see ourselves. It's a whole high-tech situation we got going on here.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's all the things I've ever wanted, you know? It's like, we should have a podcast with all this. And with a great company, like All Things. But now that I'm here, I'm nervous.
Yeah, I got a little nervous, too, on the way over here.
It's like when we first started going to rich people's houses and we didn't know how to act. And Corey did. You got scared. I got, like, fucking angry. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm about to break these lights. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, I don't know how to handle this.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous, and I rode my bike here, which I'm not, like, that don't feel right either.
No shit.
Yeah.
I told you that.
I don't live far away. It's like a 5-minute bike ride. But, like...
this is literally your street.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Oh, and I went to
But I had to cross a couple of them.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I was like, damn, this is literally.
Yeah, but so anyway, I'm always like, you know, riding in the road feels weird, but you ain't supposed to be on the sidewalk, yada yada, all that stuff. I'm just still figuring the bike situation out.
I had a motorcycle in Miami, and I tried a bike in New York. And both times, it was like,
I can't imagine a bike in New York.
I'm gonna get murdered.
Yeah, right.
You know.
We got them because like we got the boys' bikes, and me and Katie got bikes too, and we go to like bike paths and everything, which is obviously totally different.
Sure.
But now that I have it, I'm like, well, I might as well ride it, stuff like this. But it
all makes sense.
Yeah, but
until you get hit.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't think of anything to compare it to, but it's like, you're right. You should have a bike. You should ride a bike. It's healthy. It's a good way to get around. It was probably quicker than taking your car here.
I mean, yeah, it's not much slower if I don't have to park it.
Yeah. But it freaks me out because of how I got treated on the motorcycle in Miami, honestly, more than the bike in New York. I didn't make it many days on the bike in New York because the motorcycle in Miami had given me PTSD, dog.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Cho, did you get the whiskey off your wiener?
Yes, I did. That was I was a little nervous about today, too. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to take a shot of whiskey before the show. And I was trying to like look cool and pull out this shot. And then I poured it all over my ding dong. But cheers, boys. We finally made it to a studio.
I brought beer and then I got Heineken because it matched my shirt.
Did I tell y'all that speaking of bikes, did I tell y'all that there's this guy who, when I first saw him, I thought I was hallucinating or that I dreamed it. And I finally saw him a second time the other day.
Well,
and I know it's true.
7 versions of that story.
You know, I walk in the woods all the time, like on the trails where there's like mud and hills and stuff. And there's this dude who rides a unicycle in the woods with like an all-terrain wheel, like up the hills and stuff. Just like, and the thing is, I feel like people that ride unicycles want to be seen riding a unicycle, but like he's out in the deep woods where like only I'm out there. You know what I mean?
Wait, I'm sorry.
Chickamauga?
Is this a hallucination or this is real and then there was a hallucination?
No. What I'm saying is I saw this guy once before and I like the next day I was like, did I just dream that I saw a guy on a trail riding a unicycle? And then I saw him again a couple days ago, so I know it's real.
Well, he's perhaps less likely to have the word queer screamed at him if he rides in the woods as opposed to downtown Chickamauga, right? Just because there's fewer people there. What people are there, you know, might be more inclined to call him that.
Yep.
But yeah,
No, you explained it perfectly. Yeah, because I was about to be like, no, the woods is
where you mostly
the queer
get called
callers
queer.
are.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
But then you
yes.
pointed out there's less people. It's a density situation.
Yeah, a density
Sorry,
situation.
continue.
Joe. Yeah. So Corey has a like psychological conundrum to.
I knew this was
hit
going
us
to be what
with?
you wanted to open with.
Yeah.
Isn't this what your major was?
Yeah, but that dude. No.
Well, no, I know. Mine was political science, and I don't know.
I don't remember
Come on.
any of it.
Yeah, what do I know about how fucking the votes work? I couldn't think of the word votes.
I'm real interested because it's coming from him, you know.
And the word has more than 4 syllables.
And he said,
Well, I didn't make this question up.
I know, but like
But you were excited.
the fact that you said, I want to see if y'all can get it right, that intrigues me because it's a psychological question that you're like, let's see if you're correct about this. Because a lot of times that stuff's like, you know,
It's not a
wishy-washy.
smarts thing, in my opinion. And by the way, just to let you know, I just officially spilled all of that shot when I went to get my phone.
So double whiskey dick.
You got double whiskey dick?
No, that got on my foot.
Put it on my
here
dick,
in a
girl.
minute,
Give me a double.
And here in a minute, I will be going to get myself another shot when y'all are in conversation.
Here's what Corey has in common with his grandparents. Both him and their foot cut off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got the sugar.
that's so true. I didn't.
And too
There weren't a
drunk.
lot of feet between my grandparents. Okay, so here's the question, right? My sister's the one that asked me this. She got it right, but she's the only person that I know that has. And a woman goes to her mother's funeral and meets a guy, and they hit it off, and she really likes him, and she realizes after he leaves that she didn't get his name and number. She asked around, and no one knew it. A week later, she murders her sister. Why? Why did she murder her sister?
So this is a riddle.
Sure.
Which riddles also hit for me.
Yeah, but the reason that it's psychological is because how you answer it, getting this right, says something about you psychologically.
Okay. All right. So a woman went to her mother's funeral. Mm-hmm.
A woman goes to her mother's funeral and meets a guy, and they hit it off, and she really likes him, and she realizes after he leaves that she didn't get his name and number. She asked around, and no one knew it. A week later, she murders her sister. Why did she murder her sister?
It's like, I don't know. That was actually her daddy or something, or
I'm going daddy issues too.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think about it more.
Because her sister
it was their mother's funeral.
Because her sister knew the dude's name the whole time but didn't tell her.
You're closer with that, but no, neither one of the correct answer.
It's like a weird, like, the sister just didn't help her you know what I'm saying? It's not like what you expect with like the dad or the sister's husband. It's that the sister didn't do what she was supposed to do to help her get that man's name.
Sister was actually her mama.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not some twisted shit like that. It's that the sister could have facilitated this man into her life and she failed. But I can't figure out how.
And that calls for murder.
Sure. I mean, your
And
wife and her
incites
sister's worst
bloodlust.
fight
Yeah.
in the world was over.
Kroger Fuel Point.
It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
My answer was because she's a bitch.
Yeah.
And apparently that wasn't right.
That's a good one.
No, this question is used to locate possible psychopaths, right?
So your sister's a psychopath and I'm halfway there.
My sister got it right immediately, and she's been worried because nobody else has. Why did she murder her sister? It's because she thought maybe that guy she hit it off with would show up to her funeral.
Oh, okay.
And my sister, it didn't take her 2
I get
seconds.
it.
She's like, yeah, well, she did that so that she could run into the guy. Nobody else has got it except for her similarly psychotic friend. And Kirby's been worried because like her brain immediately went there like, yeah, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Well,
But,
now
like,
I got to ask my sister.
I knew it had something to do with like how to facilitate, because I thought the sister had failed to facilitate a new meeting.
Right.
The opposite direction. If you murder her, it will facilitate a new meeting. Dude, I have long thought that many people in your family, Corey, were capable of murder.
Okay.
For sure.
And this guy, and he knows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude,
people in my family have committed it.
Yes, right. That's how I know.
Here's what's
he's
funny.
dead
I
now.
thought you meant because what I used to do for a living. It
I
took me
mean,
like
'cause your
like 3
your brother killed
seconds. I was
that
like, oh
guy.
yeah, my brother killed a guy.
Yeah, so you should play. How many of them? Which ones?
How many guys did he kill?
No, Corey's people.
Everybody but his dad. And by the
Yeah, my
way,
dad
here's
couldn't
what's
do it.
hilarious about his dad. His dad will not like to hear that I said that.
Yeah. I ain't no pussy.
I can fucking kill somebody.
Yeah.
No.
You've really nailed my dad.
Your
which is something my mom
mother-
ain't done in a while.
Hey,
But-
your mother
Hey,
potentially has killed people. Probably out
my
of
mom
mercy.
hasn't killed.
Wasn't she a nurse? I believe your mother has
yeah.
killed people because she knew they needed to leave this earth, and they thanked her on the way out. They looked in her eyes and they said, "Thank you."
But she would definitely do that. My papaw, again, he's dead, so this is fine. My papaw 100% confirmed murdered people. He was in the Dixie Mafia and shit. You know, I know that happened. I've heard the stories. But my mom would 100%. If there was a situation where it just needed to be done, mom would. And I think that my dad giving me some of his pussy ass genes is the only reason I'm not a murderer.
Okay. Yeah, your mom's definitely a psychological assassin. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wild.
Murders
that
your
day at
mental
Donovan's?
well-being on many occasions. Yeah, I do.
Got him so worked up.
Yeah, I don't remember what all she was doing, but I remember then she turned to you and was like, "I got him going," or something like that.
While he was ranting over whatever she was doing, I don't remember it either. While he was losing her mind because of what she said, she turned and looked right into my soul and winked at me.
Right.
Yep. I was literally telling her, I think you'll remember this, Drew. I was literally telling her, "You're doing this just to push my buttons and blah, blah, blah." And I was I was doing the thing where I was screaming so much that I was going cross-eyed and not even really looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to wink at Drew to confirm, yeah, that is what the fuck I'm doing.
It gave me chills. A little aroused. I'm not gonna lie. not like
It's
physically,
not weird to
but,
say you'd fuck my mom.
but emotionally. Oh, I've said it before. It wouldn't be weird at all. Said it before. I'll
She's
say
a
it
beautiful lady.
again. Beautiful, mean lady. Mm-hmm. It's a double for me.
Yeah. You said you had something you absolutely had to tell us.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to tell you guys this. Was at the bar recently here hanging out. You know, everyone's on strike. Everyone's getting drunk at 3 p.m. I've been being pretty healthy. I haven't been getting hammered, but that's not the point. I went to the bar, and the accent, it comes out. And old boy from Kentucky, gay feller, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Tennessee." "Where are you from?" "Kentucky." So we start talking, and I don't know what spurred him to tell the story. I guess just knowing it would hit for me.
How old of a gay guy?
Probably 50.
Okay.
And he does set design type stuff. So he's not on strike, but he's out of work because of all the stuff
Right.
going on.
Yep.
But he was saying he was like, East Tennessee, you know that film October Sky?
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, October Sky was filmed. This camera, my man's trying to keep up with me, and I don't know which camera I'm looking at. October Sky is a movie about the early beginnings of NASA and some of the first people who designed rockets.
Yeah.
Who grew up in a coal
Jake
town.
Gyllenhaal?
Jay Gyllenhaal filmed in Oliver Springs.
Oliver
right?
Springs and Petros.
Yeah.
Oliver Springs is one county over. Petros
Tennessee.
is in my town, in my county.
Yeah. Super, super rural East Tennessee.
Middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's 2 towns over. So he's talking about October Sky. I get hype. I'm like, dude, that's where I'm from. Is Petros, 1 town over from Oliver Springs. And he goes, gay Kentucky man, pardon me if this is offensive. This is what he sounded like. He goes, "Well, here's a little trivia for you, sweetie. Did you know that we had to shut down production for a full week because someone came in on the set and stole all our copper in the wiring that we were doing?"
Oh. Well, it is very valuable. Yeah, but that totally checks out. Yeah, pillbillies, they love selling.
They
copper.
love copper, dude.
It's a high value item, and you can get
Dude,
your
it
hands
is.
on it. Yeah. It just
So
makes
funny.
sense.
So he says that at a bar. There's a dude there who's in animation, and he's working on the new Beetlejuice movie. They're filming in New Hampshire, which is just up the road pillbillies. It's just pillbillies with a Canadian accent. They had to shut down the new Beetlejuice because people broke in and stole shit, including the copper.
When's the last time you saw October Sky?
I mean, it's been a decade at least.
Me too. But I saw one of those clips, and I remember really liking it, and I do believe it's largely considered a good movie, and I dug it. But I recently saw like a YouTube video where it's like Jake Gyllenhaal dissects his roles, you know, one of those things.
Okay.
So he goes over various roles and it covers him in October Sky, and he's like, I was so young, you know, and he's just talking about it all actor speak. But it shows clips from the movie, and like I did not remember it being as like comical, the accent he had, as I felt it was when rewatching it now. Like, and I can't. It's been too long since I've seen this clip, but you know, it's one of them like, I'm going to space, you know, or whatever. Like it. Well, and I love Jake Gyllenhaal, dude. It's funny because like, I always thought, and I told you guys this, that like I always thought it'd be if we had ever gotten a sketch show and it was popular. I always like once it was already popular and people knew who we were and stuff. I thought it would be funny to do a sketch where. It's in the sketch like they're making a biopic about my tragic life in Tennessee, and they cast some big movie star to play me and show up on the first day, and he's just sitting there like, I hate you, mama, you know what I mean, like that type of shit.
Forrest Gump in it.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? And every they got tears in their eyes, like everybody else on the on the cast and crew is just like incredible, throwing roses at his feet.
They're already chiseling his name on the Oscar.
Yeah, right,
The only
exactly.
people who would get that other than other hillbillies is black people. Black people being like, The Blind Side sucked. that wasn't weird at all. Fuck that lady. Why'd she win an Oscar?
Yeah, but
Speaking of that accent, did you hear the Tom Hanks story from the Graham Norton show?
Is that where he copied the kid, right?
yes.
Yes, yeah. So they were trying to get the kid to sound like how Tom Hanks sounded as Forrest Gump, and Tom Hanks was just like, well, why don't I just sound like him?
yeah.
This is my Hollywood conspiracy theory. Tom Hanks is ashamed of how bad his accent is in Forrest Gump, and he's blaming that fucking poor child.
But dude, he does sound like that kid. I feel like the way he told it was, he was like, I was trying to figure out what the accent should be, and I couldn't get it right. Then they cast the kid, and I talked to him, and I was like,
a special ed kid.
and I was like, well, he's a special ed character.
I
you
know.
But he's like, and I talked to him, and I was like, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
And then he just did that.
That's the dude from Fast and Furious, though.
No, it ain't. That guy, no.
Yeah,
I know
it
who you're
is.
talking about. Opie?
No, Corey.
No,
that
you're
dude.
not.
That
You're
dude
wrong.
is the kid from Sling Blade. Buddy.
Yes, and he's also
yep, you're right. My
he's
bad.
also the kid from that
Different
Melanie.
little hillbilly dipshit.
What's that? Melanie Blonde?
Melanie Griffith? What do you,
She's also in that Melanie Griffith movie called Crazy in Alabama. I was obsessed with that actor.
we talking
for a
about
while.
young Forrest or the other guy?
The other guy.
Yeah, that guy was in he was in
That guy
Tokyo
rules.
Drift, wasn't he?
Yeah, he
And,
rules.
Like,
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights, maybe. He had like a good
Right,
little
yeah,
run
that's
there.
who I thought
No,
that was.
I look him up every 4 years to be like, what happened to that guy? I thought he had it.
He's on the same list as White Chocolate Jason Williams to me.
That's
You know
what happened to that guy?
Well, I know, he had a great NBA career and aged out. I just mean like
He's good on Instagram
I'm
now.
nostalgic for
Yes.
when those two dudes were both hitting. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yes.
they're both
Yep.
like red as hell.
Yes.
And just was crushing for a while. And representation, man, it's important.
They were crushing without having to be super red all the time. Does that make sense? With Williams, it was just play basketball. With his name was P-Joe in Crazy in Alabama. With P-Joe, that's what I call him. It was some Southern movies, but then also Tokyo Drift. It was just like, yeah, that dude's just out here crushing it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, I love to see Southerners doing well, but I also love to see them doing well when being Southern has nothing to do with it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It's kind of like how, John Daly hit for me, but part of his whole thing for everybody is that he's a redneck dipshit lunatic that likes to go to Hooters.
He has an apartment at the Hooters headquarters.
I'm sure he does.
No, that's true. I saw it on the internet.
Just
Even if it's not
him
true,
and
it's
John
true. Somebody
Gruden.
wrote that about it.
Him and John Gruden and the CEO of Hooters just playing rounds, calling people slurs, just hammered drunk at 2 p.m. Just hitting Florida style, buddy. That's what they're doing.
I do have one more thing.
Yeah.
And y'all are going to, I think, love this even more than the Still in Copper from Hollywood. I was supposed to tell y'all this story when I got back from Denver. I forgot, and then I was off the podcast for a couple weeks or something, and it just got lost in the wash. But I teased it with y'all via text, where I was like, yeah, a Native American kid called me, and I apologize, guys. This is what he called me. A Native American kid called me a big retard.
In Denver?
Yeah.
What do you big? Like how big? Like
Chief
physically
colors with
big, or
crayons.
just like wow, you're really, really doing.
I'll let you guys decide.
Yeah.
Here's the story. I went with.
Kind of sounds like that could be like your Indian name. You know what I mean?
One who lacks IQ.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at
Eats on crayons. No. Licks on fingers. Oh, licks on fingers over here. I don't know.
All right.
I'm doing my best. Anyway, go ahead.
It was like, I can't tell if it was less offensive that it wasn't that funny or more offensive. Like you kept, I'm sorry, you were doing good, but then you kept missing the boat. And then I'm like, I can't tell. All right. I'm sitting at this bar called Wide Right. It's like a post-comic hangout in Denver. It's like one of the spots where when I go to Denver, I meet Dave, Sam, whoever.
I think we've
We've
there.
been to Wide Right.
Yeah, that's what
together.
I thought, yeah.
And cop comes up. Like, we're on the patio. Cop, like, walks up from the street and is like, did you see any of that? And we were just talking. We were like, what? No. What's going on? She was like, y'all didn't see any of that. We were like, nope. And we were just like, all right. Then a different cop comes up. This fat, like, fucking round face, mustache.
They gave you nothing? Like, they literally just said, you didn't see all that?
I mean, to be
And then
fair.
you're like, what? And he's like, don't worry about it.
To be fair to cops.
Just all that.
To be fair to cops, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to, like,
All right.
suggest shit,
Okay, all
right?
Fair enough.
Like, to be fair, you know.
Yeah, I'm law dumb.
But then a different cop comes up and is like, y'all didn't see any of that. Y'all didn't see that guy try to break in that guy's car. And we were like, no, we're just sitting here drinking. So apparently across the street, allegedly, someone was like stopped at a stop sign and then someone tried to like get into their car. Carjack them, as it were. What's up, Jason Aldean?
Oh, yeah. Try that.
Yeah. So that's what went down or whatever. We're sitting there. Cop comes up. Second cop comes up. And we've kind of moved on. And then this kid, I don't know, comes up and was like, what were y'all doing talking to those cops? And we were like, hello, stranger. Nothing. I mean, you know, we didn't see anything or whatever. And he was like, well, apparently some homeless guy tried to get into that dude's car, and he pointed, and there was a dude the cops were still there talking to. And that guy beat the shit out of the homeless guy. And then this, like, kid yelling at a dude across the street who's talking to cops.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, there's no bravery here, right? Like, the guy's engaging
Nothing's
in
gonna
conversation
happen.
with the cops, and he's
Yeah.
like, you fucking piece of shit. And the guy's got his back to us or whatever, you know? And I was like,
Because that dude had beat up a homeless man.
who tried to break in his car.
Right.
So, like,
Which seems fine.
in your
Sure.
movie, so in your movie, in your TV show, cut back to me, I'm drunk. I'm like, so he beat up a man who tried to get in his car. I was like, you try to get in my car, I'm gonna punch you.
Yeah, I believe that's
Like-
called finding out.
Yeah.
Post fucking around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know Lizzie Wolfson?
Mm-mm.
Lizzie's awesome. I do like. Lizzie said that literal thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Lizzie literally said, "Oh, he fucked around and he found out."
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn. And that dude goes, you guys, and he said it just like this, and he was like 23. And y'all know I love Gen Z, but like this like skinny 20, he was like, you guys are fucking racist.
Yeah.
We were like, what?
So the homeless guy was a black guy and the other dude was white?
We don't know. We haven't seen the
Okay.
homeless guy.
All right.
So now I'm like, I'm drunk. I'm kind of in the zone. I'm like, all right, hell yeah. This is fun. We got a psychopath on our hands. Let's see where this will go. And I'm like, I'm asking your questions. I was like, what? So was the homeless guy a minority or do you know him? And he goes, it doesn't matter what color he was. He was marginalized.
Yes, it does.
And I was like, it matters if you're going to call us racist,
Mm-hmm.
but I understand what you're saying, my guy. I was like, did you see what happened? And his friend, who I think was just nervous and really wasn't trying to like make him look bad, was like, no, we were singing karaoke. And I lost my mind laughing. Like, I'm drunk, I'm being a dick, we weren't doing anything. I'm just like laughing.
So they just had been told that that's what happened? They didn't see any of it or nothing?
I guess so.
All right.
So that, yes, so this is the mindset I'm in. And again, I'm not one of these like Gen Z's too, but like this was weird. It was like he came in there to fight with us, older people. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm laughing my ass off. And he said something to me, I don't remember what it was. It was something along the lines of like, you know, you think this is funny, something. And I just said something back like, look, man, like being progressive is cool, but like you're just trying to be PC to like prove something. I don't know what. And he goes, "You're not PC. You're a big fucking retard."
Well, he brought it right back around for me. You know,
and it was like a fucking record scratch
Yeah.
where everyone froze, and all the people who were genuinely like progressive, good people and not comics were like, "What the fuck?" I lost
That's
my
hilarious.
mind laughing,
Yeah.
dude. I was about to fall on the fucking floor. But he's seeing all these like white lady eyes on him, so now he's like, I'm Native American. I am howling.
We're allowed to say it.
I'm howling at this point, dude.
I'm Native American.
I'm just losing my shit. And you know, then it's like there's like a pause, and he's like freaking out, and like it feels like everyone's looking at me now, and I'm like, so let me get this straight. During the fucking robbery, you were on stage singing karaoke, but because you're Native American, you're allowed to say retard, which did not win me any friends. You know what I mean? It was like I feel like a lot of people were like starting to get on my side, and then I dropped that, and they were like, well, fuck this guy or whatever. And about that time, I look over, and the dude who was like talking to the cops flips around. And I mean, it was like out of a movie where I'm like doing this speech, and I turn and I look, and I see, and I go, and the dude in the car is fucking black. Do something with that, Tonto. And I want to say, it wasn't right, but it felt so fucking good in the moment.
Yeah.
You got to fight fire with fire.
And he left, yeah.
So I don't
That's
know.
such a weird symptom of progressivism where, like, listen, I feel bad for homeless people, and I think it's stupid that some people think that homeless people are lesser than just because of their situation. But that don't mean they can break into my fucking car and not catch these hands. You know what I mean?
Of course. So
You and that black guy felt exactly the same.
couple of things
Of course.
that remind me of. First of all, like, look, I think we all know if that dude had been our age but super progressive, that I really wouldn't even have batted. That still would have been hilarious. But I feel like the fact that he's 23 makes it way funnier to me, because it's like, I really didn't think that they was out here doing it. I knew that some of us, you know,
They've never been able to say
I know
retard.
that's what I'm saying. For us, we like, you know, it was hard to, you know, we lived through the death of that word. You know,
Retard
I mean,
and midget's back.
Right. It's so funny. Dude, I was into green
Because
room.
I'm out here in these open mics.
I was at the green room at Flappers, and this kid, he's like a 24-year-old comic, walks in. The first thing he says, he walks in and he goes, "You guys hear retards back?"
You guys are checking your phones?
Yeah, right, yeah. I should get a Google
You got an
alert for
Amble
that.
alert.
Yeah. So another thing that reminded me of is also in Denver, actually, another liberal dude, because me and Corey were sitting at a bar. There were a couple things about this which were kind of funny. We were sitting at a bar, and a dude that worked at the bar saw us and walks over, and he like steps in between me and Corey with his back to Corey and looking at me, and he was like, you're Trae Crowder, right? And I was like, yeah, hey man, what's up? And he's like, oh dude, shit. He was like, you know, actually, I didn't even notice you at first. He was like, I noticed this fucking guy, right? And he like points at Corey, but he won't look at him or talk to him or anything. He's like, I saw him sitting there, and I was like, oh shit, is Trae here too? And you are, right? And Corey's just like, you know, it's like, hey man, how's it going? And he's just not giving him the time of day. It was super funny. But then that guy said, he was like, I love your shit, fucking all these fascists out here, yada yada, that whole thing. And he was like, I swear to God, dude. He's like, because I grew up in Louisiana, man. He's like, and it's like, I swear to God, growing up, it was like being the only smart guy in a car full of retards, you know. And I did not see that coming.
Yeah, you're just looking at him like, hey, who heard you say that?
But speaking of big fucking retards, I was wanting to talk about Jim Caviezel.
JC.
Look, Drew, you did this. Like, you
did.
You knew where this was going.
When you break the retard seal, it's...
Well, I was about to say, don't act like I'm becoming a withering flower. But then when Corey hit it, I was like, all right, that's enough.
I just couldn't not do that segue.
Okay, but like,
I wanted to talk about.
If it's back, it's still like a 2 per episode.
Don't be egregious.
Yes.
Yeah, right. You gotta. It's like a.
We're
it's like
sitting
a fuck
at
in a,
7.
No.
fucking a PG-13
We're talking
movie.
about
We
it.
are sitting at a 7.
Yeah, right.
Literally.
This is fair use. This is fair use
Corey,
because
we're
we're
at a
talking
7.
about it in the context.
Stop. We're at a 7.
I didn't say it. I'm just explaining.
You literally just said it.
Motherfucker, you brought... Hold on. You brought
I knew this was
up.
going to happen. I'm pointing at the wrong camera.
You fucking
Which
brought...
camera?
You fucking brought
I
this
did
up,
bring it
and now
up,
it's like,
and
oh,
now
Corey
I'm
done took it
pointing
too far.
out that we're at a 7, and then the only reason...
Say it again!
And then the only reason I raised my voice is what you first said was I didn't say it, and I just heard you say it.
Yeah, but just now when I was talking, I hadn't said it, and you were still telling me to shut up.
Yes, you had.
Thank you.
You said it. You said it once earlier. You said they've never been able to say it, except you didn't.
I know
say
that.
It. You said
No.
the word.
I know I said it twice. I'm aware I said it twice.
We're
but
all
I'm
keeping
saying
account here.
Drew cut me off. Drew cut me off.
No, I didn't cut you
in
off.
the middle of my.
No. I was talking already. Maybe you didn't hear me. Then you cut me off, and I was like, "Let me finish. Let me get this. Not all retards."
What a debut here at ATC, bro. Just
I've been
bringing
drinking
it out of us. So, yeah, Jim.
with the gays.
Yeah, right.
That story was from today.
The gays, yes. The Kentucky gay.
Yeah.
Speaking of drinking, can I run and get a shot of whiskey real quick?
Don't put it on your
Are
dick.
you going to be able to hear? You gonna have your headphones on or no?
No, you can catch me up.
Okay, then just go. Yeah, go ahead.
You talking about Jim Caviezel?
Yeah.
He knows.
I'm already
But
there, baby.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. But actually, before that, just to confuse him, since he just now took his headphones off, I'm going to pivot because you reminded me. I wanted to ask because you're talking about like a fight and it was racially charged, or people said it was, or whatever.
The boat.
Did you see the boat, the river romp, or whatever they're calling it?
Dude, I'm so hype about the boat
in Montgomery, Alabama.
Yes.
I'm
Now,
sure
all right.
everybody's seen it by now. Shit went mega viral, but
So before I address that, let me say this, and I think this applies to our last conversation and this one. I feel like we fairly get shit sometimes when we say like words like what we're saying.
yeah.
The point of like PC culture is to show respect to people. It's not to like be afraid to like say what's on your mind. So I want to say that. And I think this ties into the boat thing because I'm watching that dude and I'm like watching a grown man hit a white woman with a chair.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, we pivoted. We'll be back to Caviezel in a second. But the Montgomery boat throwdown, you said the boat dock throwdown in Montgomery with the white.
No.
What?
Oh, buddy.
I'm not even kidding, Corey. Go watch it right now. Just go.
Well, it's like 5 minutes, the main video is.
There's a couple main videos, but they cut. The good ones cut between the 3.
What do I
angles.
type in?
Dude, Montgomery boat.
Dock or Montgomery fight, whatever.
If you just follow
All right, y'all
black
keep
people
talking, I won't watch
Twitter,
it.
if you just follow black people Twitter on
Buddy, they've
Riverfront
been,
brawl?
Yeah,
Sure.
there you go. They've
Yeah.
been
all
black
over.
people Twitter.
They've been hype.
been
So Trae-
on fire.
So
today,
Trae and
buddy.
Corey, while you're watching it, here's my honest take on it. This is like genuinely from the heart, not even trying to be funny. Go ahead.
For anybody that might be listening and somehow missed it, just very briefly,
Yeah.
there was a black boat dock worker in Montgomery who got jumped by these white guys because he told them, hey, you can't park your boat there or something like you got to move
And
your
then
boat.
when they
And
said
then-
no, he went and moved their boat.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, still, at first it starts one cracker going at him, and
Which
then all of a
seems fair.
sudden,
There's 4 crackers.
All of a sudden, bunch of crackers.
Too many
file
crackers.
in, and then a bunch of bros come in.
One
to
of which who
offset
jumped off the main boat and swam.
swam across the dock.
Did you see my comment on your video today?
No,
I knew you
but
didn't because you're too famous to check your comments.
What?
You posted that video
Yeah,
about your grandma saying,
Yeah.
black people got an extra muscle in their legs because they can't swim.
Fuck.
And I posted a comment, and I go, this is very appropriate considering
I
that
know,
we've learned today
I
they can
know.
swim.
I should have put something like that in the damn because I'd seen the video when I posted that bit. But yeah, and black people, the dude jumped off one dock, swam across to whip some ass.
Corey's watching
and
it live. Cut to his face.
Black people.
Holy fucking shit.
And
Motherfucker threw his hat like, motherfucker, here we go.
Oh, you don't even know. You just started.
Black people Twitter christened that guy Aquaman.
Aquaman was my favorite.
Michael B. Phelps. Shit. What was it? Oh, C murder. SEA murder. Dude, they had a bunch, and they were all hitting for me.
Holy shit.
They've already been people, dude. Bunch of people, I assume somewhere in the South, like a bunch of white and
They're
black
swimming.
friends.
Swimming over.
Yeah, that's
What they don't
Aquaman. That's Aquaman. But people have already reenacted it and everything.
Yeah,
You've seen
in a pool.
Yeah. And so, I mean, dude, that thing really took off. But anyway, what's your take on it?
Well, my honest response to it, and I want to see if you guys identify with this. As a reasonable, I think, you don't need to be progressive, reasonable, honest white person. You see black people react that way, and you go, yeah, I get it. Y'all saw 4 white dudes jumping a black dude. Anyone who doesn't understand y'all's situation, how it's been in your life, the temperature of America, if you will. Anyone who doesn't get that's an asshole. Anyone who doesn't at least admit
100%.
But there was another part of me that was like, yeah, I've been knowing y'all wanted to do that, though. Does that make sense? Like,
Right, like they were
black people in the South, not
like
all
they
of
were
them,
like parking their cars while driving by and running
Yeah.
down there and shit. Like, it's happening. This is what we play for.
and again, no blame.
Yeah, right.
No blame in my heart for that. But there was a part of me that was like, yeah, y'all been waiting on that for a long time.
Yeah.
What I mean is like,
Rubbing a statue with James Earl Jones as they're coming down.
yeah. Like in the South especially, there's this thing which is very beautiful of no hate in my heart. I follow Jesus. I'm all about the Lord. I'll turn the other cheek. There's always been a part of me that's like, nah, come on. Not when it jumps off. Like, and no one would blame you, but you don't mean that shit. There was a part of me that was like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
And it should have.
I was hoping it would when I first saw it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, I hope some black people come to the rescue.
Right.
Sure enough.
And then they did, but
And
then
they
they hit a lady sitting down with a chair. And again.
Yeah, you
You're
know,
going to catch some strays.
There'll be some collateral damage.
I'm not watching that going, that guy's a horrible person, but I am watching that going, I knew y'all was full of shit when y'all was talking about peace and like, yeah, in your hearts you wanted to fuck us up the whole time, and I get it, no blame, but I knew y'all wanted to. Does that make sense?
Yes, but so as far as we know, as far as anybody knows, the black guy who worked at the dock said you can't leave that boat there. Then I didn't realize this, but then they were like, fuck you, and then he just goes and moves the boat.
Or tries to, is what I read.
And then the owner of the boat starts a one-on-one with that guy, and
Which
then
is
the
reasonable to some
and I bet say
extent.
all of that's like that shit'll happen.
Yeah.
Then all his white buddies pile on the guy, and then it's on.
Hell breaks loose.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then there was a white dude, if you look early in the video, trying to get the 4 white dudes off the black dude, and he
saw
got
that.
punched.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
What are you gonna do?
Can I say that Aquaman?
Yeah.
That's so
That's my
funny.
favorite one,
hilarious. Yeah.
That's my favorite one too.
Aqua Velva Man would have also worked, I think.
Yeah, there was a bunch. I probably saw at least 15 different nicknames.
Michael B. Phelps is good 'cause
Michael
it
B.
makes you
Phelps.
think.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that was a wild situation. One more, just you said something. Oh, they hit a lady sitting down or whatever. I sent y'all a clip from the internet the other day, and I just wonder if you thought this was an outsized reaction. It was from a Home Depot where this lady kept slamming her cart into the dude in front of her, not into
he
his
threw it
cart,
at her.
not into his cart, into his legs. She kept hitting him in the legs with his cart and wouldn't stop. So he just turns around, picks up an entire shopping cart, lifts it over his head, and smushes her right in the face with it, and knocks her smooth out. Thoughts?
It was 100% an overreaction.
Yeah.
However, I have long since ascribed to the gospel of don't start no shit, it won't be no shit.
Also,
Right?
dude,
What
it
happens
takes
when you
a
fuck
minute.
around?
You find out.
Yep.
Also, it takes a minute. It's a shopping cart.
That's what I was gonna
he
say.
lifts it up over his head. He's standing there with it, looking
He's
at her
a
for a
psychopath.
second. But she's just sitting there like
She didn't leave. She
said-
dared
just
him.
looking at him like, "What are you gonna do? Throw that cart at me?" And then he,
I bet she said that.
he fucking
That was gonna be my take. Is like, even if you're the strongest man alive, it takes a second to get the whole cart over your head.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she didn't leave is the most white woman shit of all time. Like that's the most like I'm facing death in the eye and I don't recognize it. What's that Patton
Amber would have
Oswalt
got
bit?
hit.
Yeah, doesn't see murder. That's the one about the magician.
Murder's whispering 2 inches from his face, and he doesn't
can't
recognize
see
it.
murder 2 inches from his face. Or whatever. Yeah, that's the one about the magician. That's one of my favorite Patton. That might be
Patton,
my
yeah.
favorite Patton Oswalt bit of all time.
Absolutely mine.
Yeah,
It's in my top 10 favorite bits of all time.
Tom
I fucking
Waits.
love that
and
bit.
the sad old magician was packing his clothes.
And his suitcase.
yeah. He drops a
F-bomb.
fantastic F slur in that one. It's
In character.
In
It's
character,
a character piece.
yeah.
It's so perfect.
so perfect. All right, Jim Caviezel. right?
He's got that new I Saved the Kids movie, right?
Yeah, they call it QAnon adjacent. I haven't seen it. Just at the very least, or to me, it just, it looks like Taken-y. It's like Taken, but with like young kids, basically.
It's based on that Navy SEAL who goes around on all the Rogan adjacent and Rogan-y podcasts and talks about saving kids.
Right. Sound of Freedom is what it's called. So, and that movie did well, and he been in the news lately or whatever. So there's some people, like a Twitter thread got started for people who had worked with Jim Caviezel on, he was like the lead on the CBS original Person of Interest, right? Which I always heard was a good show. Okay. It was a Jonathan Nolan. Well, I mean, here's the thing, dude. Jim Caviezel, he's good. He's good. I was about to say, I
texted y'all the other night. I'm upset about all this because I've been rewatching some movies lately that he just popped up in, and I forgot. And I'm like, this fucking guy's the best thing in everything he does.
Because, dude, Kevin Sorbo, Scott Baio, Gina Carano, or whatever. It's like,
they're not
Kirk
good.
Cameron. None of them really hit. They're just lunatics, and so they get support from a fringe base or whatever, and whatever they do, but they don't actually hit. But like Jim Caviezel, James Woods hits like a motherfucker.
So hard.
Crazy Male, obviously.
Tim Allen.
Gibson, Tim Allen. These people hit. But anyway, Jim Caviezel.
What about Mario Lopez?
That's our buddy right there.
Isn't he conservative?
I don't know. Probably. Actually, I think you're right. Hey.
Yeah, he hits.
Yeah, he does it. Yeah, sure. Me and Corey are going to see him on Friday. But anyway, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sure that won't come up. Jim Caviezel, people they get on Twitter. Twitter thread starts about stories of working with Jim Caviezel, right?
Okay.
And I've got a thing at the end of this. I want to ask you two specifically. But first, let's just cover some of the things he is said to have done. So he had to be banned from ever driving a car while filming the movie. They had to switch to stunt drivers, no matter how simple the sequence was. They had to go to stunt drivers because, he wouldn't obey traffic laws. He would blow through red lights and stop signs and stuff like that, even when he wasn't supposed to. And they asked him why, and he was like, because that's what my character would do, right? But other people watch the show and everything are like, by the way, that's totally not what his character would do, right? But he also
he's a school teacher.
He had to he would if he had a scene where he was choking out a perp or whatever, he would just actually choke the dude. Yeah. And he was because it's true to the character or whatever, all that type of shit. He did all this type.
A buddy of ours, whose name I probably shouldn't say.
I know the story. I don't know who it's about too.
Want to tell it?
Well, just a friend of ours who's a character actor. I guess we can say who the story's about, or maybe we shouldn't because I saw the movie. Anyway, it's about an actor who I think hits real hard as an actor, but our friend was in a movie with him, and it was a scene where he got choked out, and he about killed him, meaning the other guy about killed our buddy by choking him too hard.
And here's what I'll say about that. If you're going to be the dude...
Did they get the shot?
They did.
Yeah, I know.
If you're going to be the dude or the gal who literally chokes people out and then says, oh, I'm method, you can't also then be the dude who's like, the gays are ruining America. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can only be one of two problems. Well, you can be an angel on set and a problem in the media, or you can be a problem in the media. I fucked it up. You know what I'm trying to say.
So
perfect in the media,
I totally know what you mean.
Because the guy who did that to our buddy in the media is a darling.
Yeah. So Caviezel, speaking of which, he they tried to write in a interracial relationship for his character. He refused to do it, so he wouldn't do it. So they had to give that relationship to some other character or something. He wouldn't there was, because again, it's like an action show. There was supposed to be a scene where his character, who's the lead of this action show, saves the life of a gay man, and Caviezel was like, no, that ain't it. I ain't doing that. Let him die or make somebody else do it or whatever. Shit like that, which is all show related. But my favorites though were people said that he whenever a minority would come on the set, a foreigner specifically, not a black person, but a foreigner, they said an Asian studio executive came to visit the set one day. Whenever something like that would happen, Caviezel would walk up to this Asian person and just be like, oh, ching chong chana se, sakamaki, hato futuko, whatever. and just saying nothing, but just making Chinese noises or whatever. And he said people would tell him that's not.
He's not that good.
Yeah, it's
that's my point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And he would do that with he said he did it with German, he did it with Japanese, whatever.
Dude.
It's And he also apparently, Hitler hit for him. He often went on.
Yep.
Well, Hitler hit for him, and him being an actual right-wing psychopath aside, my point is like Val Kilmer and Doc Holliday. Val Kilmer is known. I don't think I'm like getting anywhere
to be
a
difficult.
dick.
Yeah.
But he's so good at Doc Holliday.
Mm-hmm. So good.
It doesn't matter. But you can't be like pretty good and be like ching chong.
No.
I'm a son.
Yeah.
Like
Alec Baldwin, same way. Like Alec Baldwin's a known dick, but he rules.
And on that note, I think what's happening with Alec Baldwin with the charges he's got now because he killed a dude is he's getting older. People are like, yeah, you're not good enough to shoot people anymore. Alec.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you
In your 30s, you could have shot a guy.
Yeah,
For sure.
But yeah, he would apparently talk about how like Hitler had the right idea, but went a little too far, like that type of shit. It's like, yeah.
I've never understood though. People never explain that to me. Like, what do you mean?
So
he had the right idea, but went a little too far. I think he should have killed 2 million. You know what I mean?
Dude,
like, what the fuck is
so
that?
much crazier than you can imagine. I got this explained to me in Marfa, Texas, at the Holocaust and Classic Ship Museum. I told you guys this story when it
That's
happened.
you say Holocaust and classic shit.
Classic
Ship.
Ship. Well, I mean that's funny too. That's funny too. But I thought you said the Holocaust and classic shit museum.
Sounds like what I'd have named it.
I don't know. This is during the pandemic. We were all out of our minds. I don't know if you guys remember, but me and Andy were in Marfa, and at like 10 at night, she found this like Holocaust and Classic Ship Museum on Google, and it said it was open 24/7. So she called, almost as a bit. We were at the bar, we were talking to people, we were drunk, and then someone answered, and it was just a dude named Bill, and it was just his house, and he had all these model ships, and one of them was the Titanic. He had a whole story about that, but a lot of them had to do with the Holocaust. And what this dude explained, and this is what I realized, a lot of what was the phrase you used, Corey, or you used it?
About
Hitler
what?
was he did how did you
Said
say
Hitler had the right idea, but went a little too far. Which again,
so a lot of these
couldn't say it with a
psychopathic
straight face.
conspiracy theorists, and I want to be very clear. I'm just parroting what I've heard or read or whatever. There's this idea of like the real way to be a Jew. It happens in Christianity. It might make us all more comfortable to discuss that. Where there are people who are like, I grew up with people who are like, Catholics aren't going to heaven.
Oh yeah, right. Of course.
Because they don't do Christianity right.
Yeah.
So there's apparently some version of that.
For
I don't know if
Jewish
it's
people?
I don't know if it's inside or outside. I don't know if it's outsiders projecting that onto them or if it's insiders. But it's, according to this guy, there's a lot of
My
Jews.
money's on them Orthodox fellers.
I got you.
Yeah.
So according to this guy, who we met in his fucking house, we had a trans person with us, by the way. It was a wild night. According to this guy, a lot of Jews think about Hitler that he went too far, but at first he was killing fake Jews. In other words, at first he was killing people who weren't practicing the right way. It's arguably.
I don't think it would hit for Hitler to find out that he killed a fake Jew.
Well, I was going to say it's arguably crazier than what Hitler did. I'm not trying to make it seem less crazy, but my point is simply that the argument is like Hitler's idea was that these people turned their back on God by not being good Jews.
I don't think that was it.
No, it's
Yeah.
of course not.
Felt like he
I'm
had
just
some other
I'm just
thoughts.
telling you where that bullshit I think comes
Seemed like Jews didn't hit for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. But
But that's where the bullshit
Hitler
comes
don't
from.
hit, by the way.
no, Hitler don't.
We
hit.
got that.
We've always said Hitler.
What
don't
I'm
hit.
saying is that's where some of this bullshit comes from is, oh, Hitler just went too far.
Yeah,
That's,
he did.
The
That's
people
inarguable.
behind that thought of, oh, he just went too far. That was his only problem. That's what they're arguing. It's still garbage.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to have like a
Hitler podcast?
I was gonna say like a Black Plague and model airplane museum, or something like that.
Open 24/7.
Black Plague and Coca-Cola memorabilia.
And you put
whatever.
your
We
home
wanted some
phone
of it to be
number on
fun.
Google.
Yeah, right. Well, it's just like I feel like it's just two things that guy's into. He's like, everybody can come see my shit.
It's
I get
100% what
that-
it was.
I get that ships and the Holocaust overlap in at least some regard. Speaking
By
of
the way,
Holocaust,
he had tried to become Jewish 4 times, and they won't let him.
Yeah. What? Well, I don't know. They pretty
What do you
strict,
mean?
ain't they?
But what do you mean? What do I mean? You got to apply to be Jewish. I mean, it's not a job, but like you got to be like, let them know I want in your school.
And they got a bunch of rules.
Yeah, but I
and
figured
stuff.
if like one dude don't let you, you just go to the Jew next door.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
but they all found out he had a Holocaust ship museum in
Oh,
which he was saying
yep.
Hitler only murdered some problematic
Yeah.
Jews. He murdered.
That'll disqualify you.
yeah.
If y'all were young and single and on Tinder,
Well, don't do that.
and you saw a girl whose profile picture, and I sent this to y'all because I saw it on Reddit. Her profile picture was her with her butt to the it was a butt shot, like not the naked butt, but butt in like yoga pants. Her looking over her shoulder, like check my butt out and smiling. Classic pose. But she was making that pose about 75 yards in front of Auschwitz.
And it said it.
I would swipe my shoulder out of socket to the right.
Well, I don't remember which one is which. Sorry.
He's
That
for
would
it.
I would get with her.
All right, because you know she
because
can,
not for a wife.
She can throw
not
down.
for a
of
wife.
Course, yeah, that ain't no dinner thing. But
No, that ain't no dinner thing. But yeah, dude, that's got to be unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, we all agree with that.
yeah,
Even the Jewish listeners are like, yeah, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Put that pussy on me. But, okay, let me say this. If I am in the mindset of settling down,
yeah, no.
I have two
Hell
questions.
no.
I have two questions. Is she Jewish? That'd be
Right.
funny. That'd be pretty funny. If you're Jewish and you're throwing it back in front of Auschwitz, it's a little funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
it's a Roseanne move. You know?
And then my second question, I mean, my second question is, how hot is she?
Yeah. Well, you
Yep.
synced her. She's all right.
Yeah, she was fine.
She was all right. Yeah.
But in a scenario where it was an hour and a half?
so
There's a lot of fives I would get with, but I wouldn't get with a five that did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You divide the distance from Auschwitz she is in the picture by how hot she is.
yeah,
And if the number's too high, you don't do it.
right. That makes sense. Simple ratio. So Jim Caviezel, here's the question I have for you two specifically. Jim Caviezel, while portraying Jesus Christ in Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ, Jim Caviezel on the last day of shooting was struck by lightning, like hard, right?
On the cross, right?
I think, yes, while filming days on the cross, he was struck by lightning.
Is that true?
I
It
don't.
feels
That
like a
part might be
thing.
apocryphal. He definitely got struck by lightning while filming that movie.
You know that
and
for
he
a
was
fact.
praying Jesus. I mean, I've never seen it like. This is going to highly upset me if it isn't true.
I'd say a bunch of people would have had to see it and know about it. So,
Yeah, but how would there not be one single camera running?
Maybe they
Yeah.
were just setting up. Get up on that cross. We got
It
shit to
feels
do.
like a rumor you start during production to get people to watch the movie and or talk about it before it comes out.
I mean, according
but
to
I feel like it goes against the
FoxNews.com,
base.
according to FoxNews.com, he was struck by
Oh, wow.
lightning while
Well, they've-
filming the biblical film.
They've certainly
Here's
never
a- here's
lied
a-
about a biblical movie.
Here's an interview with him where talking about how it happened.
And he's definitely never lied about a role.
I just literally
true.
every source or whatever on like they all.
I get that, but where is the video?
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe he wasn't on the cross. Maybe they weren't filming anything. Maybe he was just like there on set. He's still playing Jesus, and he wasn't even like.
I had
maybe
an
they're filming
uncle-
something else. and
My
he
Uncle
was
Bubby, he was a
walking
cokehead.
to his trailer.
My
or
Uncle
whatever.
Bubby got struck by lightning, and he had to take 6 months off of a thing we call life.
Yeah, it was reportedly the last day.
I don't think it happened. I've never thought
do.
it. I've never thought
Okay.
Jim Caviezel got hit by lightning on that fucking set.
Well, my question was going to be like, which way does that sway your perception of him and his lunacy? Like, as far as like, well, the Lord fried his brain all up, so of course he's all dipshitty now. Versus like, bro, you got smoked. Like you literally got smoted, and you think that should. I don't know. It should rein him in, or like make him wilder.
It's a paradox,
or what? Right? Yeah, right.
It's a paradox for us non-believers, because it's like, I don't believe in Jesus, but there's part of me that wants to believe in Jesus for 2 seconds just so I can go, see, the movie you were making didn't hit for Jesus. He struck you with lightning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, if he really did get struck by lightning, I assume that has to you like fuck with your brain.
Sure.
Take oxygen away from it. Because like, dude, I've always said like, Conor McGregor, man, a lot of these dudes who I watch fight, like I give them a little bit of a pass when they say some fucking word we said earlier, but I'm not going to say again stuff, because like they'll just say some wild shit. Their brain, because I'm like, dog,
they got the mush brain.
like,
yeah.
like, the guy who gets kicked in the brain for a living said something crazy. I can't believe it. Just show me him fighting. So, like, yeah, I mean, if Caviezel's turn, if that was when he all of a sudden went QAnon, I'm like, I bet it's because he got struck by lightning.
Right, but so to be fair, I mean, I feel like most people generally agree with you about about MMA fighters, right? Meaning, like, they never really face it. They say wild shit periodically, and nothing ever comes of it,
well,
right?
Everybody's
They keep
afraid
fighting.
of them.
Well, because that one dude just
gonna beat 'em
recently
up.
said, like, you know, he's like, no, women shouldn't be able to vote. What the fuck? Like, that was so stupid. It's like they need to be in the kitchen cooking food with their goddamn mouth shut. He like says this at a press conference, like before.
Everybody's afraid of him.
And he still gets to
people
fight and do his thing because people are like, oh, they
people on
mush brain.
Twitter
And they'll kill
still
you.
share it. People on Twitter still share it. Like, can you believe this just happened? It's just that,
Right,
like,
but nothing
the
comes
base,
of it.
Yeah, nothing comes of
Right.
it because the UFC is like, this isn't going to hurt our bottom line.
Nothing,
Like,
nothing comes of it
our
because
fans
you
are
can't
two
beat
types
his
of people.
ass.
Right.
Trey,
But, like,
we were in a comedy competition in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Corey was a guest judge. And the rules were, and this is, I'm going to quote, this is what was said to us. You can't say cunt, you can't say fag, and you can't say the N-word.
The N-word, yeah.
And that's how they said it. They said those two words, and then they said the N-word. And when I processed that, I realized, oh, because you're actually afraid of black people, you're not afraid of gay people physically. I genuinely think that MMA fighters are allowed to say whatever they want because they can beat people up. I think that's a
it's
fact.
also just because, like, they're not going to lose money. Like,
Yeah,
the people that are
Dana White
offended
could
by
still
that
like fire
aren't
the
watching.
guy if he wanted to, but
Yeah, but why would he?
right. Well, that's what I think. That's what we're saying is like.
Yeah, that's
is
what I'm
that
saying.
part.
Is
Yeah.
like that. It's not going to hurt their bottom line because the people that are super offended at that aren't huge UFC fans because they're already appalled by the sport to begin with, or it's someone like me who is a UFC fan but has made the contention in his head like, hey, I don't have to respect these dudes' views. I don't care what they say. They bash each other's brains in for a living.
Very progressive take. I don't care what they think as long as they beat each other up. I want to say that I feel like Caviezel was Q
Who I am.
before that.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that's
Q
how
wasn't
him
even
and-
a thing yet, but I know what you mean. He was
that's
that
how him
type
and
of
Mel
guy.
found each other.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
So let's
Yeah.
rank them. Let's
For sure.
rank the people in that world in terms of their talent. Like, because
Mel Gibson's number one for me. I think.
I think
Full
so, too.
stop.
Absolutely.
Full
I
stop.
think James Wood is 2 for me over
James
Caviezel.
Woods is great.
I think
dude.
he's over Caviezel.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
For sure, dude. For sure.
Yeah.
Roseanne is 3.
Roseanne,
you gotta just do her
great.
early stuff.
She's
you
great,
gotta
for
just
sure.
do her early stuff.
Roseanne's so funny.
Awesome.
Then it's Caviezel, I think.
I'm a big, and I don't know how
Jim
much he
Brewer?
does now. I mean, Jim Brewer hits me. I was going to say
His old shit
I was
was
going to say
awesome.
Dennis Miller was like one of my
Is
biggest.
he Q?
dudes,
I
bro.
thought he was
Yeah.
just.
I don't know if he's Q.
I don't think he's Q.
He
went-
ain't Q.
He went conservative after 9/11, but I
Yeah.
don't. But he's not like full.
That's a
bore
different type.
lunatic.
Randy Quaid, bitch.
Oh,
Dude, Randy
good
Quaid-
one.
well,
That's a
he's
good one.
I don't know. Randy Quaid's just like a spaceman, ain't he? Like he's
got to be
just-
Q.
I'm sure
He
he's
Q.
Q. I'm sure he's
He might
Q,
literally be Q.
but he's everything.
He might
Yeah,
be
right.
Q.
Yeah.
Quaid.
Quaid, hey.
Oh my God.
Dude, if Randy Quaid is Q, holy shit.
It's he is.
You get to the bottom
Drew
of that.
solved it.
Yeah. I mean, he's creative enough to come up with all that shit.
Yeah. And crazy
sure,
enough
dude.
to forget he did it.
Yeah, right.
Like he puts it out and he's like, I believe it too. I don't even know what this is. I made him redneck. I do the thing that we hate.
Dude,
Yep.
he was always kind of redneck.
He's a
Where's he
redneck.
from? He's probably from like Missouri, so you don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's cousin Eddie, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah, he got red cred for days just for playing Cousin
All right.
Eddie. I think.
Is it time to go?
I mean, we're getting there.
Did we go
should
far enough
wrap
down
it
the
up.
QAnon ranking list? The people who are Q adjacent, but still hit at what
Can
they
we
do.
open the next episode with this? Because we'll probably think of some more.
I'm sure
Yeah,
we will.
sure.
We thought of the hitters.
I feel like this is.
I would like to say
a fun
that's
first
fucking
episode
amazing
in
that
there, right?
I can't believe that we just figured out that Randy Quaid is Q. Drew, I got it fucking, I mean, hats off, buddy.
It's the beers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't drink.
I get to be with y'all this
2
week.
weeks.
I'm coming there and we're going to all be in the
that's right.
studio.
Yeah,
and I'm so fucking pumped.
Next week, Corey will be physically sitting right here with us for next week's
Physically.
episode. So that'll be fun.
We should do 2.
Yep,
Yeah,
we
well,
should.
I don't know if we got the time or they got the space here, but we can figure it out.
Hey, plug your shit, boys. Trey, what's going on?
I'm on tour doing stuff. I'll be in Vermont next, and then I got Austin coming up, and then a bunch of places after that. TraeCrowder.com. Also, listen and watch Puttin On Airs, me and Corey show, and Weekly Skews, the political jam. and pre-order our book. That's on TraeCrowder.com too. Go TraeCrowder.com, check it all out. Love you.
I'll be in Austin sooner than Trae. It's coming up very soon. I'll be there. Well, I just want people to know we're not together. The reason I said that is
was a hidden way to pitch it.
People often text me and be like, "Are you gonna be in?" And I'm like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." And it's like Kansas. I'm like, "No, what?" And then it's where you're gonna be. So I am going to be in Austin. I'm just trying to say that it's sooner. I'm going to be there August 16th through the 19th. I'll be at Creek in the Cave, the Pershing, the Vulcan on Saturday. I think I'll be at the Mothership on Friday. I'm not sure yet. We're still trying to lock that down. So I'll be there then. And then I am on fucking leave. I'm on paternity leave after that.
My man.
My baby is on the way. We're actually very nervous about me going to Austin. So if you pray or do energy, put it up there that my baby don't come while I'm gone. It would be a preemie if it did.
I was about to say
it.
it's not supposed to be till sometime in September.
No, it would be a week premature if it did. So
but that doesn't mean 1 week before the due date.
No. Preemie.
1 week before what makes you premature. Right?
Literally preemie. It would be 5 weeks before the due date.
5 weeks. Both of my sons were born 3 weeks early.
Yeah.
Which
that would be fine.
Yeah,
It would be right after I got back.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of paternity leave, I'm not on the road. My wife is back at school, so I'm a full-time dad during the day. So you can catch all my shenanigans over at parttimefunnyman.com. I'm sort of, keeping a weekly routine of what me and the kid got going on. There's essays. I do podcasts, all that stuff. Parttimefunnyman.com and POA and the book. And also, for the first time live in studio, thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Ooh, thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.
Fart.
Fart.